Okay, it looks like we are live here. Great, welcome everybody, and welcome to another weekly live stream. Actually, I am going quickly to my account so I can see, I think I can see right here. Oh my gosh, next week is episode 52, making it 1 year live streaming. Of course, there has been some missed streams here and there where either holiday or I had to miss it because of travel or whatever, but almost an entire full year of streaming every week, every Tuesday. So, gosh, has this been fun. I really look forward to this each day. It's kind of a pinch me moment. I'm like, you know what? I get to go on here and compare 3 great guitars. I remember when I could only have one in my hands comparing in my mind or on videos. So this is really fun, y'all. But to clarify, right at the beginning of this stream, these are always live. These are not pre-recorded. In the last stream, it was really fun. Someone said, it would be really great if these videos were actually live and not pre-recorded. So they are live. I'm here answering your questions live. There's no way to rig that. But as always, if you're watching this in the future, you can use timestamps, which I add after the fact to these videos, so you can skip around the video. Also, we're about to be joined by my cat here. His name's Buddy. There we are. He's announcing himself. My wife is out of town right now, so normally her responsibility during the streams is to wrangle the kitty cat. And so right now, if I were to shut him out of the door, you would just hear pawing at the door for an entire hour. So you guys are going to have to deal with that. And when he's bored, oh gosh, I'm wondering if he's going to do this. He has developed the bad habit of pushing things off this little, you can't see it in the stream, but there's like a little island type of thing over here. And he just, it's only when he's bored. He doesn't do that, normally, only when he wants my attention. So anyways, let me look at your comments here. Please say hello if you're just tuning in. We've got amazing guitars. Very, very first appearance ever of this Max Cucker guitar. I've never had any of his guitars in. I have not published a video, but I have photographed it. I've teased it a little bit online. You've probably seen. But here we go. Let me say hello to some of you. DSW, hello, welcome. I saw you comment before I even started, so that was awesome. Axley Perez, hey, nice to see you again. Greetings from Venezuela. Wow, awesome. Hello from Venezuela. Ready to learn some new things here while cooking. Sweet. Lunchtime, huh? What are you cooking for me? I just had some boiled eggs. All right, let's see. Hi, Evan. I just replied to your message. Hey, John. Good to see you. Also, I saw that pop up on my screen. So good to hear from you. Vincenzo, hello from Italy. What's up, Vincenzo? Good to see you here again. Hey, buddy. I see some comments saying hello to the cat, and hopefully he feels welcome to browse but not make noise. Let's see. Looking forward to the Maza guitar. Sweet, Vincenzo. Yep, we'll be getting to that. Let's see. A second, we'll get to that guitar. Cats, gotta love them. Dennis in Canada back for another live stream. What's up, Dennis? Good to see you here. Guys, it's so cool that so many of you are here each week. This is awesome. Alexi, I have 2 cats myself, and it is mortifying to have them around my guitars. Yeah. Hey, I gotta tell you, nothing bad has ever happened with my cats around guitars. However, I am careful about things like I wouldn't leave a case open on the floor with a guitar in it, because then it's so easy for them to accidentally jump on it or lay down on it or something like that. I never do things like that, but on stands, I've not had a problem. Although I did have a luthier mention to me once that sometimes cats get jealous and scratch guitars that they have on their stands because it seems like that's what's stealing attention from them. I've never noticed that, but I wouldn't put it past cats to do that. Have y'all noticed any behavior like that with cats? I mean, of course, dogs, you have to be even more careful. I have a friend who had a dog step through their guitar. Maybe they're here. I don't know. This is getting addictive, LOL. Hi from the Hoosier State. What's up, Tom? Good to see you. And hi, Don from LA. I'm curious, actually, what is mortifying about your cats around guitars? I have to admit to y'all, The past 2 days for me have been very strange, very uninspired. I'm not really sure why. I think part of it is due to the weather. It was like gloomy and raining, and I normally love the rain, but something was different this time, so I just didn't get much done the past couple of days aside from emails, shipping guitars, and all these other things. But I didn't record, which is what I was supposed to do. So I think that is today and tomorrow, big recording days. And it's just a little nice reminder for all of you out there too that are, I'm sure, practicing a lot, sometimes feeling uninspired, that those days happen, and it's so hard to remember that sometimes, breaks are necessary. Oh, nice. DSW says working on memorizing the final part of a rice. Is it the say a perguntar? I heard another one recently that I really liked that I'm going to check out. Let's see. You don't like them in your case, Tom says. Oh, I hear you there. I never leave cases open. And actually, this goes back to a story from one of my former professors, Bruce Holtzman. Anytime that someone in his office would leave the case open, he'd always tell them to shut it and always shut one latch. And he would say, you can't leave cases open because if you have a cat or someone has a cat, they'll get inside there and pee. And if they pee in that case, you'll never get the smell out. So I always thought about that too. It's like, oh my gosh, could you imagine if in your case, like, you just have to throw it away immediately. There's no cleaning that, I don't think. Unless you want to like strip out all the fabric and redo it. Which I've done that before, but not because of a cat. Happy Tuesday. Keep up the great work with the channel. Lots of great content and instruments. Thanks, Dalton. I really appreciate that. Guys, I'll shut up soon, but here's our little question and answer portion of the stream. Yeah, they're always curious inside of the case. That is true. That's right. That is the thing to worry about. Ivan, hello, Ivan to Evan, Evan to Ivan. Nice to see you here. It's always nice to see you tuning in. All right, I think I've responded to everything I've seen. And, well, let me just give you a little rundown. Sometimes I say that and then I end up doing a full presentation of each guitar, but let me just tell you a little bit about what we've got here today. First, very excited about this guitar. This is made by the Lithuanian-based luthier Max Cuker. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. And it is a double top of his that I've been awaiting for more than a year now. We've been talking about building a guitar for my shop. I finally got this in after never playing one of his guitars, although one of my students plays one of his guitars online. So, I didn't really get to ever play it in person. They love it. I was always impressed by it. You can see guitarists like Anton Baranov, GFA winning, really famous Russian guitarist, playing one of his guitars all the time. And I was like, well, if they're playing it, these must be pretty darn good. My student always sounded great with his. And this thing really surprised me. First off, just a funny little story is that I know he was having a hard time calling it quits with the finish, as lots of luthiers have. They're just perfectionists with finish. And so I don't know, maybe I thought when I got this that maybe there would be signs of issues in the finish or something. And I actually have to say this is one of the best looking fringe polishes I've ever seen. It's very, very good. It's glass-like, but it doesn't have that kind of like fake sprayed look to it. It doesn't look like it's a thick coating. It just looks perfect. It's very, very ideal. And the back and sides, it's really nice Santos rosewood. Super beautiful. Got this orangey brown color to it. And it's a double top, okay? So his double top is this, he calls it like a natural double top. There's no balsa inner layer. There's no inner layer. It's just routes into the wood. I think kind of similar to Adrian Heinzelman, what he does, except this is not lattice braced. So very interesting. I think he said it's like 70% spruce and 30% cedar. So yes, interesting head shape to this one. It's kind of like a swoop or something. Kind of cool. You have a raised fingerboard. Here's an interesting thing that I didn't notice right away. You have the B note here and a C note as well. And the way that goes is kind of like the inverse of the swoop pattern up here, which is, I think, pretty neat. Very, very nice rosette. I've got really great photographs of this guitar as well, but take a look at that. The tie block, Really, really nice. There is a sound port with also, oh gosh, I don't have it on my desk right now. It must be in the case over there, but there is a, yeah, too bad. I don't have it on the desk, but there is a plug for the sound port as well. Very small sound port, you know, not like the huge Connor style sound port. So it affects the sound, but just a little bit. And Barnett tuners, I think maybe he saw reviews of mine where I was like, you know what, it's always a shame when there's bad tuners on a guitar. These are great. And this guitar really surprised me. Super comfortable. I talked to him in depth about the type of necks I like. It's C-shaped and super, super comfortable. And then the sound, we'll get to that in a little bit. Let's talk about the next guitar. I know some people here said they were excited about the Mazza. Okay, here it is. I can't believe I have this guitar back. This one was made in 2022. I did make a video on this guitar, and it's really, really nice. This is a lattice brace guitar of his. Again, with a sound port and removable cover. This is a larger sound port, as you can see. This is like closer to like the Steve Connor size sound port, to give you something to compare it to. But it has this really nice plug. Now, this is in contrast to a lot of the sound ports that you'll see out there that are actually magnetic these days. This one is like foam and like really literally plugs it. Good thing about that is that in the case, you do not have to worry. For instance, if I go to ship this guitar, I'm not going to remove the sound port out of fear that it's going to come out of the guitar and hit the top or something. It really seals up nicely. And it is one of those nice things to not think like, whoa, you're going to be resting your hand on the guitar and all of a sudden the port's going to go like, whoop, and fly out onto the floor. So, anyhow, I like this guitar with the port open, so I'm going to leave it that way. Fernando Mazza is a luthier in Italy, making guitars for a lot of famous guitarists these days. Stephanie Jones. I don't know why I can't rattle off more names off the top of my head, but take a look online. There's tons of people playing these guitars. I think Brandon Acker just had one made for him. And while I get criticized sometimes by saying reasonable on guitars that are thousands and thousands of dollars, I get how that can be criticized. It's reasonable compared to many of the super expensive lattice brace and double top guitars out there, not to mention vintage classical guitars. My cat Buddy is making another visit. For those of you that are just tuning in, my wife is out of town, so he is more bored than usual and also doesn't have his normal person distracting him. So you're going to have to pardon his passing. Anyhow, it is reasonable on the side of double tops. I think it's already on the website, so you can check it out there. Yes, it has a very sharp head, which Mazza stands behind, and I respect him for that. It is striking, and like he says, you can always identify one of his guitars from the audience. This one has Alessi tuning machines, really nice, of course, Italian-made tuning machines. And then as far as the condition of this guitar, it is pretty good. There are little marks here and there. And then maybe the thing most worth noting is that along the bindings of this guitar, there's a couple of little nicks, maybe from just like bumping into things a little bit. Maybe you can see it on the camera. It's really not so bad. It's something you see up close. And aside from that, it's in great condition. Little nail marks, no Raschiato marks or anything. You have the extra C note. You have his rosette. His label has this like gold hue to it that's really nice. And then take a look at those beautiful back and sides. His neck, very comfortable, C-shaped, not D-shaped, 650 scale, and just a sound. Oops, sorry. Didn't tune this one. A sound that is just very, very powerful. It actually really reminds me of Jim Redgate's guitars. The way the lattice sounds and the naturalness of the sound. Except Jim Redgate mostly builds cedar top guitars. This one's spruce top, of course. And the other very interesting thing to me about this guitar that's unique about it is that you don't normally have guitars that are this powerful, this loud, with a big sound port like this. And I find it quite nice because, let's say, some of the other very popular lattice brace guitars like Greg Smallman guitars or anything in that style, those are guitars that are extremely powerful. There's no doubt about it. But it is a little bit harder to hear how powerful it is from behind. So it can kind of make you have to recenter your, recalibrate everything in your mind about how you're playing. Whereas when you have this port, you're not recalibrating. Like, trust me, you hear that it's loud from behind the guitar too. So you're not having to guess what the audience is hearing. And it's one of those guitars you really relax into playing because the sustain is so trustable. Oh, shoot. I'm forgetting this piece. And the trebles are so creamy. Being very honest, this is a guitar that I enjoy playing a whole lot. These trebles are something very special. It also responds to the slightest of touch. And has that bubbly quality. And very warm. You know, I can get very warm or... And how many inches was that? Like 3 inches on the string? A totally different sound. And can you guys tell from watching this video, watching this stream, I mean, how quickly the sound just like burst out of the guitar? What I describe this as, it's a responsiveness for sure, but also after you pluck the note, it comes to full volume really, really quickly. Now, some people see that as a con if you're used to very traditional guitars, for instance, but for me, it's mostly a pro, honestly. This is... Maybe it's a little bit more pianistic in nature, because when you attack a note on the piano, it's that volume right away. And so you play a little piano piece. Oh, that's the wrong key. Oh man, I thought I would remember it. It has a very pianistic quality, yeah. Pretty sweet, right? Gosh, this was supposed to be me just passing by this guitar and telling you about the 3 guitars that we have in right now. So, the third guitar I want to show you is another one that I didn't expect to have back in. This is a beautiful Dake Traphagen guitar with Brazilian rosewood back and sides. This guitar was built for my shop, 2024. In fact, I did a video of unboxing this guitar and like literally doing my entire review after just unboxing it, like real time, like not like, oh, well, I faked it, I put it back in the box. Like literally the sound out of the box. So you should check that out on my channel. If you search Dake Traphagen 2024, you'll find that video. And now it's such a pleasure getting to know this guitar about a year later and hearing what it sounds like now. Because in fairness, I was a little bit bummed out when I received that guitar that actually it sold very fast. And that I didn't really get to see how this guitar developed after like 2 days of it. You know, I might have had like 2 days with it. So when I got this guitar back, now, I gotta say it's new strings. So they're all still going out of tune. Less so the basses. But when I got this guitar back in, Now, there is some wear on it. There's lots of little nail marks under the strings. But aside from that, it's in pretty good condition. I mean, there's not anything deep. In fact, it's funny. I hardly notice the nail marks and stuff now that, now that I'm not in the natural light. But there are lots of little nail touchdown marks, not rasguiado marks. And aside from that, the guitar is in amazing condition. And it's this beautiful dark Brazilian rosewood. By the way, also with a sound port with a removable cover, this one also being a cork here. So with this cork, it stays inside the guitar a little bit. You see, it kind of snaps in. It's really nice. I actually had it reversed before. But anyways, let me get this a little bit more in tune. And I'll play a couple chords for you. The tuners have also been upgraded on this to Scheller tuners. You see this? Look how nice. Now, Dake Traphagen has made so many guitars, and he wrote to me about this Simplicio design that he's been doing, and I have to say it's so nice. This has so much volume, an old world sound, even though it's a guitar that's less than a year old. I just replaced the third string with carbon. The action's very, very low. There we go. Now look, being up front, there are a lot of guitars that are louder than this one. But you're going to be getting characters out of this guitar that I really think are very, very difficult to get out of others. I mean, this little thing I was doing on the second string. There are some really amazing, profound sounds that you can get out of this. And sometimes I often hear from players that say, hey, Evan, I'm not looking for the loudest guitar. I'm not playing on any stages. I'm playing at home, mostly around the house for my family, stuff like this. By the way, I really do feel like that should be most people's perspective, unless you're really like, hey, I need to compete with the volume of other guitars in a competition or whatever. But, you know, this type of guitar fits so well for that type of perspective. Not only is it such a breeze to play, which I think is a factor that everyone should put either at the top or right near the top of their priority list. But it just has such a beautiful, natural sound to it. I guess I didn't really say that. This is a fan brace guitar, and it's not double top, it's not lattice brace. Listen to that. Dake Traphagen's one of these luthiers that absolutely nails it in terms of playability. When I ask him for something like, hey, make sure it's really low, I really enjoy super low action, he gets it. And it doesn't buzz unnecessarily and stuff. I'm really laying into that, and I'm not buzzing. He's a genius with playability. It's so, so nice. And these frets are nice and, well, I'm gonna say they're like medium tall. Really nice. Okay, constantness here. I've seen your comments before about plec. Yeah, you know what? Here a quick little thought of plec machines. I have had a good experience bringing a guitar to someone who does plecking, and it worked very, very well. I was impressed. I think it's more popular for electric guitar for a lot of different reasons, but a luthier that is very good and pays close attention to intonation and stuff like this doesn't necessarily need a plec machine. Or guitar shouldn't need a plec machine, I should say. You know, things should be straight, frets should be very level, the nut should be at the appropriate height, but it certainly is interesting. I think you have to be careful where you might bring a classical guitar to get plecked, because the technicians that might insert it to the machine or whatever may not be quite as fragile with the polish of the guitar when they use a machine like that, or before or after. And also, when you do pleck a guitar, I believe that for everywhere you might do it, you have to glue the nut in. And the guy that I brought it to, especially straight frets in Austin, Danny Shoemaker, he actually put a very small amount of hide glue right before his plecked and then removed it right afterwards. So it's, you know, I think you have to find the right person. And if a guitar's already, if you bring the guitar to a good luthier, it should be just about the same level of quality there. That's my perspective. Love a Traphagen, sounds fantastic. Yeah. Man, it's so nice. And again, I'm going to always get criticism for saying reasonable. But the reason I say this is a reasonable guitar is it's not through the stratosphere in price. It's on the web. Is it on the website already? You guys tell me. I think I did put it on the site. Yeah, it is. It's a guitar that is affordable in the term in the realm of high-end handmade classical guitars. And it's one that I don't think has shortcomings where you're like, well, you know, if I would have spent double that or something, then I would have really gotten a great guitar. So nice. But I'm going to tune this once more. If y'all have any questions, let me know. Back to the Cuker here in a second, because I feel like you've gotten a good sample of how this guitar sounds. What do you think? Let me know what you guys think. Oops. I just clicked to a chess live stream that I did not mean to click on. That's crazy. Well, I feel like what I did was I started on the Max Cucker guitar, which I was really excited to show you guys. And then I didn't even play it because my intention was to just tell you about each of the three guitars. I've totally gone off course. So I'm going to go back to this guitar and play it some. Now, like for those of you that are just joining, I'll give you the skinny on this one. I just got this guitar and it was just photographed. It's a double top, spruce, with cedar underneath, armrest, beautiful purflings, really, really nice rosette, a very minimal label, which I really like, says Max Cucker. This guitar is coming from Lithuania. Santos rosewood back and sides, Barnett tuners, raised fingerboard, and a sound port here that has a removable cover. And I think he knocked it out of the park. I mean, here's the thing. This guitar, we talked very in depth about specifications, about the shape of the neck, and he nailed it. It's the first guitar of his I've had in the shop. Now this does have all carbon strings on it right now. But it's very responsive. What I can feel right away is that it's a guitar that has a great dynamic range. And that's so important to me in making expressive phrases. You know, if I want to go... I don't know if it's all compressed over a live stream, if you can tell, but I'm starting so quiet. And I approach such a high volume there, and all of the steps in between were very easy for me to achieve. I didn't have to practice this a bunch to be able to get those sounds. Even that is a crescendo, right? It's pianissimo. Part of the thing that I believe creates a very nice dynamic range on a guitar is clarity of voices. And when I do this, and then I decide to play F, the muddiness of the bass does not end up like covering up whatever you play on top of it. The muddiness of previous notes. It's very clear. Not on the side of clear of like Bruck or Dahmen or one of these makers that's like super clear to what some would say is a fault. But it's clear enough to where you're not playing a muddy guitar. Which unfortunately some double top guitars are kind of known for. One thing that I found is fascinating, and sorry, I'm just blabbering over here, but for one player, a guitar that for another player is too muddy might just be perfectly correct for them. For instance, if you have someone that plays with a very warm tone, for instance, you can see players that play like this, like almost lute-like angle to the guitar, their sound is really, really warm, and a guitar that's already warm in character is going to sound awful for them. And then when you hand them a super, maybe overly bright guitar, it's going to sound perfect. But you swap to a different player and it's the complete opposite impressions. So it really matters a lot depending on the player. I think kind of fortunately, I play in somewhat of a neutral range. I don't go super warm or super bright. You know, you hear players that certainly might play like this. Where they, you know, there's a lot more naily attack and you're plucking the strings more parallel or perpendicular to the strings. And then right there's also this where players might play like this. See this, how different that can be? I have to lean my body, but let me make it look like this is my natural playing position. See, look at this. Maybe I'll make a video on this topic, you know? In my opinion, that's making this guitar sound quite bad. But see, here's the contrasting. Which actually sounds really nice. And then here's how I play. See, makes a really big difference depending on how you play. Sorry, I'm a little congested today. What's up with that? Major. Listen to the sustain. Well, there you got an idea of how this guitar sounds by Max Cuker. 2025 double top that I just got in. Really amazing guitar, affordable price point in the realm of handmade concert guitars. Then the other guitar I showed you near the beginning was this Fernando Maza. Very powerful lattice brace guitar, Italian made. Really great guitar as well. Also already available on the website. The Max Cuker is not. You'll have to. Right, it's not available on the website yet, but you can write to me. It's under $10,000. And here we have the last guitar. Well, was it the first? Oh yeah, it was the last guitar in my presentation. It's kind of this Dake Traphagen traditional guitar. That is just such a dream to play and has such nice colors. And I unfortunately have to keep tuning this guitar as I just changed the strings. And then now, for those of you that are still tuned in, I want to show you a special little treat, which I think when I planned this live stream, I didn't have this guitar photographed yet. So I really didn't know if I was going to be able to advertise it in like the social media posts and stuff. I planned these things about a week in advance. But I have in a guitar, which I had one of these in last year as well, but this one's a 2025 guitar by the Chinese luthier Jialin Chen. Okay? Did I get it out right? Jialin Chen. And I'm going to just trim the string end here. Watch me destroy this guitar live on stream. Whoa, it's so responsive. This is a very striking, visually striking guitar. Obviously an homage to Andrea Taki, who was his mentor and he studied with, his Cochlea Thusia model, which basically is taking the idea that some of Torres's last guitars, Antonio de Torres, the great Spanish master, like grandfather of the classical guitar. Anyways, he actually used a four-piece top on one of his last guitars where the density of the outside woods were different from the inside woods. And that's kind of what spawned this idea of the Cochlea Thusia model, using two different woods so that it's different densities on the inside and outside. And just look at the attention to detail. This is not some cheap knockoff of a Cochlea Thusia Andrea Taki guitar. I mean, detail is everywhere. The polish is perfect. And just look at this 3D nature of the rosette. Now, of course, all the colors may not be for everybody, but I find this really, really beautiful. I mean, it's also a conversation starter if you ever play this guitar in public. It's a work of art. And I think some people really would enjoy having this around, even for that purpose. But of course, if you think that this might be a guitar just to look at, you'll be sorely mistaken when you play it. Or hear it, for that matter. Check this out. Oh, let me run you through the specs a little bit. So one of the unique things about the Cochlea Thusia design by Andrea Taki that Jialin Chen is modeling after here, is that it's this traditional guitar, right? Not a double top, not lattice brace, but with modern features. You have a raised fingerboard, which is very nice. And it's, I would say sonically, in the sound, it does lean a little bit more modern, but not in the way of like the super dark double tops or a nasally lattice sound. It's got evenness all over the neck, and it's got volume that is pretty unmatched for a traditional guitar, honestly. Sorry, I might have to tune just a little bit more before I get into the demonstration. But also, the back and sides are wingay on this guitar, which looks really nice. Just take a look. Really, really nice wingay. The tuners are Barnett tuners, which, oops, I've got a very obtrusive, design obtrusive tuner on the headstock here. But you can see that classic talkie headstock, very nice woods chosen on this guitar. And then these beautiful Barnett tuners, mother of pearl buttons. And just take a listen to this thing. Sorry, guys. I know listening to tuning is not fun. That's it. It's this D string. Try to stretch it a little more, you know. Really, really fun. And you know, I have to say that this guitar, while being brand new condition, built this year, has such an open first string sound. And it's something that I've become very perceptive of, is like the sound of brand new guitars, as you can imagine. But I'm telling you, if I was blindfolded with this guitar, I would not guess that this is new. It sounds very wide open. You know, it has the sound, the first string has the sound of one of those guitars that a professional player has played for many years, and you know, scratches all over the top, that type of scenario. But it's very, very new, you know, I mean. Listen to the basses. Also very open, sorry. Listen to that. guys, I'm just kind of noodling around having fun on this thing, but very, very easy to play. A sound that's just beginning to develop, yet already is so wide. Finally, I'm getting into it. The problem is, if you play really gently after, just stringing up a guitar, it actually stays very nicely in tune. These are brand new strings. But when you start to really push a guitar, which this guitar likes to be pushed, then the strings go way out of tune as you're just applying so much pressure. Let's play a little bit of Capriccio on our bed. You really feel authority in the bass when you play those notes. Sorry guys, I'm using this live string as my warm-up. Okay. Well, I will close this stream there. You guys got one bonus guitar here. This is by GLN Chen, C-H-E-N. In fact, I'll type that here in the comments so that you guys can see about how to search that name, which will be on the website soon. Not yet. There's this and the Max Cucker guitar that I showed today are not yet on the website, but we'll be there soon with videos. And yeah, well, you guys got to hear 4 guitars, had some nice comments here and there. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week and a nice Thanksgiving for those of you in the States celebrating, having some turkey. Be safe. And I will see you in the next stream and in our video release tomorrow, which is going to be of a 2022 Enrico Botelli guitar. That's really, really nice, 640 scale. So. Okay, guys, I'll see you in the next one, and thanks for the watching. Bye, DSW, and thanks, Dalton. I really appreciate it. I'll stick around just for a couple of comments here. Thank you so much. Dennis, nice to see you here as well. And you guys can always reach out if you have questions about any of these guitars. I'll be sending emails right after this stream. So thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving to you, John, and to everyone else here. So bye-bye, everyone. Have a good